All right, let's talk about the most critical and honestly, the most overlooked part of any project, the handover. Now, this isn't just about finishing up the job. This is the one thing, the one process that actually guarantees you get that final payment. The one with all your profit in it.
You know the feeling, right? Every integrator does. The last camera's online, the system is purring along, the client's giving you the thumbs up, saying looks great, but that final invoice, that big one, isn't paid. So what's the holdup? There's a quote that just puts it all into perspective. The final 5% of a project is where the profit is either secured or sacrificed. And let's be real here. For a lot of jobs, that final 5 or 10%, that is the entire profit margin. So what does it look like when that profit is sacrificed? Well, it's those unpaid invoices sitting there, aging past 90 days. It's that 10% retention fee, the money the client holds back, being held hostage. It's that punch list that just never seems to end. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. And it all happens because the finish line was never clearly defined from the start.
Okay, so how do we fix this mess? We stop treating the project closeout like some task we'll get to later, and start treating it like what it actually is, a core business strategy. Your Handover Standard Operating Procedure, or SOP, isn't just a pile of paperwork. It's your profit protection plan. So we're going to break this down into 3 pillars. 3 bulletproof pillars. If you can nail these 3 things, you will get paid. And you'll get paid without all the back and forth. It all starts with really rigorous documentation, then moves into systematic sign-offs, and wraps up with formal, documented client training.
Okay, pillar number 1, as-built documentation. Look, this isn't just a record of what you did. You have to think of it as the system's official birth certificate. It is the single source of truth for what was actually installed on site, and it's totally non-negotiable. So, what are as-built drawings exactly? Let's get really specific here. They are absolutely not the same as your design drawings. Design drawings? That's the plan. That's the intention, what you hoped to do. But as-builts, that's the reality. That's where every camera actually ended up and how every single cable was actually routed after you dealt with all the real-world surprises on site.
And this really lays it out perfectly. Design drawings are for your bidding and planning phase. That's the ideal world. But the as-builts, that's the reality. That's what your own service department is going to rely on for every single maintenance call and every future upgrade. If you don't have them, you're literally sending your own team in blind.
A professional closeout package is way more than just a single drawing with some red lines on it. It's a complete portfolio that answers pretty much any question that could ever come up. It's got to have the as-builts, of course, but also the device schedules, the O&M manuals, the warranties, and the super important commissioning report. A package like this leaves zero room for arguments.
And here's the bottom line, especially when you're dealing with enterprise or government clients. If it isn't documented, it basically didn't happen. As this quote says, missing documentation means no verification occurred and compliance can't be proven. That is the exact phrase a client will use as their justification for holding your money.
So that brings us to pillar 2, systematic functional sign-offs. This is what I like to call the show me phase. It's where you prove, on paper, with a client's signature right next to it, that the system you installed does exactly what you promised it would do.
Now, the official name for this is commissioning. And let's be clear, commissioning is not just turning everything on and seeing if the little green lights blink. No, it's a formal, systematic process. You're verifying that every single function performs to spec. It's the bridge that takes you from it's installed to it's accepted.
And here's what this actually looks like on the ground. This is your field of view sign-off. You're walking the site with a client, maybe with a tablet in your hand. You pull up camera 1. Does this view match what we approved? Yes? Fantastic. Initial right here. And you do this for every single camera. This one simple checklist will save you weeks of those unbillable, hey, can you just tweak that camera a little, callbacks. I want to be crystal clear about what's happening when they sign this. This signature is not just some formality. It is a legal transfer of responsibility from you, the installer, to them, the owner. The second they put their initials on that line, the system is officially theirs, and boom, the warranty clock starts ticking. Which brings us to our 3rd and final pillar, formal, documented client training. So you've built it, you've proven it works, now you get to teach them how to drive the thing. Seriously, an untrained client is just a client who thinks the project isn't done yet, only because they don't know how to use the awesome tool you just sold them.
Good training empowers your client. It lets them handle the day-to-day stuff themselves, viewing video, managing their own users, running the system. The whole goal here is to make them independent. You need to make absolutely sure they can do these core things before you pack up your tools and leave the site.
And you guessed it, just like our other sign-offs, you have to document the training. Who was in the room? What topics did you cover? And most importantly, you get their signatures. This isn't just a little attendance sheet, it's a confirmation of competency. It completely stops that "you never showed us how to do that" phone call 3 months down the line.
Okay, so you've done it. You've meticulously followed all 3 pillars. You have a nice, neat stack of signed, dated documents proving the job is done, the system works perfectly, and the client knows how to use it. So, what's the payoff?
This right here, this is the money shot. It's the final signed system acceptance form. And when you submit your final invoice, you attach this document to it. It is undeniable, irrefutable proof that the project is 100% complete and has been formally accepted. It just completely short-circuits any potential disputes and triggers that final payment.
Look, if you remember only one single thing from all this, make it this mantra. It's what every single profitable integrator lives by. The work is not done until the paper is done.
And the benefits? They go way beyond just getting that one check. A great process secures your final payment, sure, but it also transfers liability, starts the warranty clock, and totally prevents scope creep. You know, all those endless unpaid additions. But maybe most importantly, it establishes your professionalism and builds a ton of trust.
A great handover really shows your value and builds this incredible trust with the client. And that makes it the single best moment to introduce a service agreement. So you see, this process doesn't just end a project. It actually becomes the starting point for a profitable, long-term service relationship. That's how you build recurring revenue that actually grows the value of your business.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to really think about for your own business. Right now, is your handover process just a formality you kind of rush through at the end? Or is it a deliberate, documented, profit protection strategy? The answer to that question, well, that's what's going to define your bottom line.